up, everyone? Ready to dive back in?
My name is Luana, aka TheWhiteDeer.
And I'm Drau, but you can call me Dale.
And we are your hosts for Day 2 of SMAC.
Today, the tea is piping hot. It's all about drama, with 7 director panels and 3 cast interviews.
Most will be covering the drama-filled worlds that have had us on the edge of our seats and waiting with a bated breath as they unfold before our eyes.
But it's not just drama today. We've got some laughs and music to keep things light. Plus, 4 voice actor panels showcasing the amazing talent in our community.
So, let's get this party started, right? Turn on the kettles and get that tea bag ready for our first panel from OMGSIMS and STASSI J.
Hi, my name is STASSI.
Hi, I am OMGSIMS.
And we are the co-creators of the Sims for Machinima Forever and Always. We're so excited to be part of this panel today. We got a couple questions as the creators. So the first question is, what inspired you to collaborate together? I'll give a little insight on this. I was just on Instagram one day and I saw that there was a voice acting role open for Amy for a Reaper series. I threw my name out there. OMGSIMS messaged me back right away and he's like, I liked your audition. And then I became Amy in his Reaper series. And then ever since then, that has really just planted the seeds to this beautiful friendship that we have made over the past 3 years. It has been an absolute honor working with OMGSIMS on this project and watching him take something I only dreamed about and turning it into reality. So thank you, OMGSIMS, for making my dream a reality.
You're welcome. You've always been very supportive of my machinimas, and you worked very hard to bring my characters to life. So it was just the right moment to do the same thing for you and help bring your vision to life. And that's why I just jumped into this project, because I knew we were in for something special.
Again, thank you so much. You're such a special human to me. So thank you. Question number 2 is, what inspired Forever and Always? So it is based on a song, Forever and Always by Parachute. It is a beautiful song. I used to listen to it on my way to work. So the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is such a beautiful song, Forever and Always. But it wasn't until I listened the second time and I got to hear what an actual beautiful love story it was. And it inspired me to create the short film that I'm really excited to share with everybody later this year. But last but not least, the biggest question is OMGSIMS is known for his horror work. He is now trading in his stabby knives for a romantic story. OMGSIMS, tell me what it's like different working from the Reaper to Forever and Always.
Okay, if you know me, you know I only do horror, and that's the reason I wanted to do something totally different with no serial killers around. And the only drama in this machinima is real life drama. It's based on experiences that we can live, that we easier than like a serial killer stalking us. And it was the right occasion to try a new genre and to see if I can make a love story work as well as a horror story. And yeah, I jumped right in because it sounded to me like the best next project I could have.
Well, thank you, OMGSIMS, for bringing this to life. Now, stay tuned because the cast of Forever and Always will be joining us. I have Oodles of Sims here. She plays Ashley. Thank you so much for being part of the panel today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. Like I was like crying when I heard your audition. It was so good. Now let's dive into these questions. What drew you to play Ashley in this film?
I am drawn to emotional roles mostly. I like making an audience feel something. So seeing this, the trajectory of her storyline was like super impactful. Yeah.
Amazing. And how did you approach preparing for playing Ashley in such, again, like in a tragic film? Like what methods did you use?
Lots of crying. lots of crying. No, it's definitely reaching down and finding those true emotions and just connecting it to something in your life and then bringing that through your voice, and not being able to rely on your face is a little harder, but yeah, just relating it to real life.
Absolutely amazing. And this is your first time doing voice acting work in a
Yeah.
machinima. So congratulations. I'm going to break off a little from this question of saying I listened to her audition while I was at work and I was crying. You did such a phenomenal job. I could not think of a better Ashley. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what? I got to ask, what do you hope the viewers are going to take away from after watching this film?
I hope they feel something. Like I said, I'm really drawn to emotional storylines. I want them to step away feeling like they've gone on an adventure. They've felt the whole story between Ashley and William on a deep level. So.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you again for joining this panel. We actually have more cast members here, and I'm so excited to, give a little bit of their take. And we are going to start with Spring Sims. Welcome to the panel.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk more about this lovely film.
I was an honor that you wanted to be part of it. Who do you play, and what do you hope the viewers are going to take away from this film?
So I play Dr. Chase, and I love a good doctor, much as the next person. I watch a lot of medical shows, so it's kind of like up in my alley. And when you asked me to join the cast, I was super excited. I love being able to do voice acting in any medium. I'm a longtime stan of Sims Machinimas since 2011, so I'm always willing to help out in any shape or form. But the one thing I feel like people should take away from this film is that remember to always live in the moment and be there for the people that you love, because you never know what could happen today, tomorrow, whenever. But I hope that they do definitely feel something.
Well, I think that is beautifully said. Thank you so much for being part of the panel today, and thank you so much for being part of my cast. The
Thank
Awful
you.
Gamer, welcome to the panel.
Hello.
Hi, who do you play, and how do you hope viewers, what do you hope viewers will take away from this film?
Yeah, so I play the priest, and I think to piggyback off of what Oodles and Spring said is I hope that what viewers take away from this is that regardless of like time, triumphs, or tragedies, love lasts forever. And so don't be afraid to embrace it.
Absolutely amazing. And then again, thank you for being part of this panel.
Thank you
Theone,
for having me.
hey baby girl, welcome to the
Hello.
panel. Thank you so much for being part of this film. Who do you play, and what do you hope people will take away after viewing this film?
Yes, so thank you so much for having me. It's so fun being part of this project. I play Nurse too. And reading the script, what I hope people take away, except the beautiful story that everyone said, I also want the viewers, after they're done crying, I want them to also take away the passion of the creators that made it, like the writer, the animators, Machinima, like, because this is so many hours of work to make you feel something and to say like something about life itself. So I hope they can keep that in mind.
Me too. After people watch it, I will be less sweaty thinking about what will people think of this machinima. Oh my goodness.
It's
Well, Theone,
lovely.
thank you so much for coming here today. Last but not least, Disney Sims. Hi. Who do you play, and what hope do you oh my goodness, what do you hope viewers will take away from this film?
Well, I play Emily, Nurse One, and that's based off of Stassi's best friend. And yeah, it was amazing to be part of this. And I would say love is transcendent.
Amazing. Hi, Pacific. Welcome to the panel.
Thanks, Stassi. How are you?
I'm good. Why don't you tell us who you play in Forever and Always, and what do you hope the viewers take away from this film?
Sure. I play Nurse 4, and ultimately, I really hope the viewers take away that life is short and you definitely should not take the good things for granted.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming to this panel.
Yeah, of course.
Hi, Nard. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Stas. Appreciate it.
Of course. Why don't you tell us who you play in Forever and Always, and what do you hope the viewers take away from this film?
I play the boss, and I really do hope that the viewers in the audience take away just the emotions. Like, I feel like this show or the machinima is like emotionally driven.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining the panel today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this panel today. Please enjoy this exclusive trailer for Forever and Always.
You are my forever and always.
Ashley, I've loved you since the first grade.
Don't move. SMAC will be right back after the break. Coming up, we sit down with Vyxenah, followed by a Q&A with Sims 2 director LATIBULE.
A woman was found near death at Magnolia Park today.
No prints, no wounds. From first glance, she doesn't appear to have been abused or assaulted. It's almost as if she fell asleep while swimming.
I didn't do anything, but they found my business card at the crime scene.
Conrad Bradbury.
Wait, it's that architect, right?
Who are you? Where's my Ash?
I know where he is, but the thing is, I'm not sure you really want to know too.
What do we know about him?
He's a psychologist with a degree. And by the way, he used to practice hypnosis.
Good. So now, relax. Clear your thoughts. Nothing should distract you from this moment.
Conrad, man, you wouldn't hurt a fly. Why would you kill a woman?
Someone's got a problem with me, and I have to solve it somehow.
Hey there! I'm Vyxenah, or Shakotakai McGrath, and I have been voice acting for Sims Creations since 2013. I'm having a fantastic time. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm really, really excited to talk about my favorite topic, voiceover. What was it like initially taking on Tresor in the Rivers? What do you enjoy about her character? So I was approached by the director to take over the role of Tresor from the original VA. She gave me the freedom to take Tresor's character in any vocal direction that I wanted, so initially I had to jump in and figure out both Tresor, her voice, and the story simultaneously. I did my research, I watched a few previous episodes to really understand who she was, and Tresor is just such a strong character with a lot of emotional depth. I love that I get to explore her emotional range from the intense anger to the deep sadness. Sometimes I even find myself crying in the booth with her. Her overall complexity just makes her such an enjoyable character to portray. What methods do you use to try to connect with your characters? Are there some characters that are easier to connect with than others? So, as a voice actor, I play a lot of characters. And sometimes the roles are brief with like little detail from the directors making it really, hard to connect with them. So I really appreciate it when directors provide additional notes about the characters and the world, because it really helps me understand who I'm playing. Images also really help. Having a visual reference of the character, like up on the side, on my side screen while I'm recording, can really enhance the connection with them. So I appreciate that as well. So directors, give additional notes and images. Please, 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 please. What is it like to play the most hated female character in the Machinima community, aka Tressa Rivers? Also, how does it feel when Dana sends you a new script that's even worse than the previous one? Not in terms of quality, of course, but in terms of Tressa-related shenanigans. That's really funny to me. Sometimes I read the comments just to fully grasp how much she's hated. Tressa makes a lot of bad decisions for her own benefit because she's just honestly scared of being alone. But I love it. I love a flawed character. Tresser is a blast to play and definitely one of my favorites. When I get a new script, I sit down and think, all right, what's she gonna do this episode? And I'm honestly never disappointed. You've been voicing for the Sims Machinima community for a while, so a lot of people in the community today don't know the majority of the characters that you voiced. What are some characters from the past that have had the biggest impact on you? Okay. Yes, I have been voicing in Machinimas for a long time. My first role was in a Sims 3 production called Obsessed. I think it's been taken down now. It's been a long time. I played the main character's mother. I was 14 at the time, and I was typecast as mothers. I never got leads or supporting roles. I was just always the mother. My mic was so bad. I was using a blue snowball, but I was just pumping out auditions. I just loved voiceover. I think when I turned 16, I finally stopped auditioning for mothers because I was kind of sick of the same old lines like, "What are you doing, honey? Be safe. Be home early. Oh, there's a boy here to see you." I was grateful for the chances to get to voice them, but I never really felt like I was progressing and learning in my voiceover career. As for characters that I voiced and I feel like I've really grown from, I think some of my first leads were very, very important to me, and some further leads on. So we have Aubrey from Isolation, from Ubiquintus Ghost. We had one of my favorite ones was Riley from Unbreakable Fate by DNL Films. We had Faye from Take a Shot by Simsbury. Another role I really, really enjoyed was Riley from Overlooked by A Little Mid. And after compiling all of this, I realized I play a lot of characters called Riley and Gwen. So that's really funny. What character that you voice / have voiced do you think you are most similar to? Currently, I'm really, really loving Camille Edwards from Partners in Crime by SofaSims. I'm always so excited when I receive those scripts. She's so tough and she gives leader vibes and she's not afraid to speak her mind. She's also extremely loyal to her friends. And of course, she's a bit of a gamer, so I see a lot of myself in her. How do you adapt your performance when working on different types of projects, such as animation, video games, or commercials? The process starts similarly, reading up and gathering all the information about the characters and implementing it into the lines. Sims projects tend to be more relaxed, giving you the chance to really connect with the character personally and in your own time, in your own way. I'd say for animation and video games, it's a lot more like hands-on with the director. You're doing live recording sessions and quite often table reads. Though these experiences are really enjoyable, and they're also really great networking opportunities. I honestly think Sims projects should consider doing some table reads because they can be a lot of fun. So maybe I'll put a thought into someone's head. Who knows? Can you share any tips or advice for aspiring voice actors looking to start? Yes, definitely. So, I recommend you start by browsing Casting Call Club for any opportunities. Begin with small projects just to gain some experience. When you're auditioning, make sure that you have confidence because the casting directors can sense it. Make sure that your mic quality is good with minimal echo and room noise. And just overall, be open to criticism. It's honestly just the best way to learn and grow. What do you find the most rewarding about being a voice actor in the Sims community? I honestly don't think I'll ever stop auditioning for Sims projects. There's a sense of home in the community. I love all of the creators and the unique stories told through Sims. As a voice actor in various fields, I haven't found stories that resonate with me the same way. The community is just bringing to life these beautiful and unique stories that are just honestly really rewarding to voice for. So I'd say the community and the stories are just the most special part about Sims Machinima. Can you discuss any memorable or challenging characters you voiced and the process of bringing them to life? A memorable character in Sims right now has to be Anya from My Awkward Youth. I've been having such a fun time with her. She's quirky, witty, and offers me such a unique experience with her storytelling, with both narration and the dialogue. I really, really have been enjoying playing her. And the process probably for her is simple. I just loosen up and bring a lot of kind of, youthful energy to her. I love playing her. How do you approach preparing for a voice acting role, especially when it comes to understanding and embodying the character you're portraying? Can you give examples? When preparing for a voice acting role, I start by deeply understanding the character's background, motivations, and personality traits. I'll read through the script a couple of times just to get a feel for the character and the voice and the emotions and how they'll change and vary throughout the episode. I also try to relate to their experiences wherever I can and find parallels of my own to make it more authentic. Kiss, Marry, Kill, Camille, Alyssa, Tresser. Oh my god, okay. This is a mean question. This is a very mean question. Okay. I'm gonna marry Camille, because she's my girl. I love her. Best girl. Kiss. You guys are gonna hate this. I'm gonna kiss Tresser because damn it, the girl needs some love. And I also kind of want to start a fight somewhere. Someone's upset about that. And sorry, Alyssa. I love you though. And that is it. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure answering questions from all of you, and keep creating, keep your imaginations flowing, and making some beautiful, beautiful productions. And so long as you guys are creating, I will be auditioning. Message me if you would like me in your productions. Anyway, thanks guys. Bye.
Hold on, more SMAC to follow these messages. Up next, LATIBULE is here to talk the rivers. Afterwards, an interview with Elizabeth Plant.
I'm just worried about Tresser. We haven't spoken since our fight.
Turn on your fucking phone.
I don't know, this feels different.
I just think if you're going to accuse someone of cheating, you should be absolutely sure first.
Are you sure she's okay with me coming? You guys haven't seen each other in a month. I don't want to, ruin the weekend for you two.
Rain, meet my roommate, Paige.
You realize you've ruined my life.
There are also alternatives you can consider to carrying out the pregnancy.
How does that go, exactly?
You're not the type of person that can just separate feelings from sex.
What about medication?
This is only the beginning.
Hi everybody, LATIBULE here, or Dana as some of you may know me, and I'm so excited to be participating in the 3rd annual SMAC convention. There's so many questions to go by, not enough time, so I'm just going to jump right into it. So the first 2 questions I've mashed into one, and what I can say about season 3 of The Rivers is that it is definitely coming. I have big plans for it. It's definitely crazier, which some might think how can it get crazier? Because season 2 is pretty unhinged, especially when you compare it to season 1. But the things that I have planned and the things that I've been setting up, a lot is happening, and I'm really excited for you to see what's in store for these characters. I don't know about every character having their own happy ending. I think that's kind of impossible in the Rivers universe, and really any Sims Machinima universe that I could think of. Nobody really has every character get a happy ending, but the ending that I do have planned for every character I think makes perfect sense, and hopefully you guys agree with that by the time the series comes to an end. And I do have at least one spin-off planned. It's already been outlined. I'm really excited about that. It'll be a very mini one, only 5 episodes. It'll give a lot of context to some of the characters in the series, and I'll hopefully share more about that in the next year. I think understanding your characters through and through is a really important method to writing believable character actions and reactions. You need to really flush them out to the best of your ability. You need to look into their history, their wants, their fears, even their zodiac signs, and I'm talking all big 3 placements, commit, Most importantly, I think every character needs to have like a flaw. That's my thing. Every character. I do not like perfect Mary Sue type characters. Every character needs to have a flaw, but a flaw that makes sense, a flaw that should be connected to the character's history. I'd say most times I plan for events to happen and then consider how each character would react based on their history. Sometimes when I have something planned for one of the characters specifically, I do it for vice versa, but that's rarely the case. Usually I know something's gonna happen, and I look at every character and their history and see how realistically they would react to that something. That is one of my favorite scenes, and I'm really glad like people liked it. I was lucky enough to find a song after I had already written, filmed, and edited the montage, which is rarely ever the case. A lot of times I build a scene around a specific song that I want to use, but I think doing it in the opposite way is much more meaningful and less forced. But again, it's really hard to happen to find the perfect song at the perfect time, so I got really lucky with it. So these two questions about Trezor's villain era, downfall era, I love it. But yeah, that's always been planned for sure. I've been sitting on it for a really, really long time, and it's been so exciting to actually have the chance to unfold it the way that I have. Trezor has been through a lot, more than any character on the show, I think, and I've always felt like it was realistic for her to not be completely and utterly unaffected by that. In season 1, I tried my best to ease into the direction her character was going to take, but the plot was occupied by the much more important events of the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Season 2 allowed me to redirect to those other big events happening in the family's lives, and in the case of Trezor, that's her engagement falling apart, which I felt was the perfect catalyst for Trezor spiraling. She's always had issues with abandonment or people walking out on her, which we could see a bit of in season 1, but having Ezra end their engagement was the perfect trigger for me to really flush out that part of her character. As for redemption, I can't say definitively if it's not possible or not. All I know is I'm not going to force a redemption arc down anyone's throat if I don't think it's realistic for the character and the events surrounding Trezor. Whether or not she's beyond redemption is up to the viewers, and I'm really excited about having a whole other season to see how your opinions of Trezor and the rest of the characters evolve. I know that whoever shared this question they sounded rude or patronizing, but this is my absolute favorite question here because, yes, this has actually been planned for a very long time and I have the receipts to prove it. I first told Jonah's voice actor, Alex Gardype, about like this dynamic back in October 2020 when he had finished recording season 2, episode 5 and was pointing out that he thinks Raven and Jonah's story is far from over, even though he's with Eileen right now. That's almost 4 years ago. For context, that's 2 months before season 2, episode 1 even premiered. So before Jonah and Eileen even got together or were romantically linked in any way or form. If the audience today wants Jonah, Eileen, and Raven to be together, it's because I've been planning for them three to get together all season, and it's been very, very satisfying to see that people have been wanting them together for so long that it come off as me pandering to make a particular group happy. In reality, that isn't the case. It's just, this is what I've been feeding you guys, and you guys have been eating it up, and thankfully it's worked in my favor. Well, most of it has, because I know a huge portion of people are not happy with this dynamic, whether they're Jonah and Eileen fans or Jonah and Raven fans, but that's just what I've been having planned for a really long time. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, I love doing fan service, or fan service as I like to call it, because one of my favorite things to do is include a subplot or an inside joke or even a character that I had not originally planned because the viewers wanted to see it happen. I love including a Maya Who joke, or to have Jonah have a sugar baby in honor of the By Jonah army. For example, Benji having a guy love interest was already planned. But I loved reserving that character to Kyle because he's such a fan of Benji, and I loved naming that character Nick based off the inside jokes in Kyle's Discord server. I just love that kind of detail. I love those little Easter eggs. They make me so happy. And as long as it doesn't change the plot or is inconsequential in any way, why the hell not? Maybe that makes me a bad writer, but I'm here for a good time and nothing really is ever that serious. And a lot of times I write plots or characters that will absolutely get everyone to hate me or be angry at me or stop wanting to watch the show altogether, and I get that. I've been there. For some, that could be Jonah, Eileen, and Raven getting together. And I know a lot of people have been holding out hope for that, but also, like I said, a lot of people are fucking mad at me, and I get that. And I know that if they did end up falling apart, a huge group is going to be mad at me. And if they end up working out, another huge group is going to be mad at me. Will I let either group influence the plan I already have for this dynamic? Absolutely not, and I think that's the most fun part. So, my favorite character to write for this season is Trezor. I just really love the drama. I love the chaos of it all. There's nothing quite like writing for a character going off the deep end. Arcs that I didn't enjoy this season, oh, there's plenty, because some were fun but problematic, but one that wasn't really problematic, was just frustrating for me, was Rain, because I really do love Rain, and I love her relationships. But again, I hate Mary Sue characters. And Rain had a very confusing and complicated upbringing, so I wanted to translate that through her relationships and how she reacts to certain things, even when it's not exactly the right thing for her to do. I love a good slow burn. I love it. I love friendships to lovers. I love a healthy enemies to friends to lovers. What I don't like is enemies immediately to lovers, especially when the enemy is an abuser or a bully or a homophobe. I do not like that. I really, really dislike that. I dislike when they skip the friendship part. I think it sends a terrible message. You can never catch me have a character fall in love with their abuser, especially if they're a woman or queer person or a person of color. No, thank you. My favorite character to write dialogue for has been and always will be Raven Ayana Virginia fucking Carter, okay? That woman is the absolute love of my life. She's been my favorite to write for since the beginning of the series, but out of all characters, I think she has the most unique relationships with every other character on the show, which makes her so fun to write. How she is with Jonah and Eileen, who she's now romantically involved with, versus Faye, who's her best friend, Trezor and Ezra, who she stood off against, Simon and Noah, who are ex-love interests turned awkward friends. There's just so much material there to go off of. I love writing for her. And my least favorite character to write dialogue for has to be Phineas. I hate that man. He doesn't appear that much, but I really do dislike that man from, like, with every fiber of my being. So I hate writing for him. I don't like him. My favorite addition to season 2 is definitely Nick, because he's just so fun. He's just so fun and different, and he's such a, like, he lights up my script, I feel like, because everybody else is going through their shit, and Nick will too. Like, I don't like writing a character that isn't flawed or that doesn't have baggage, but for now, he lights up my script. He makes me so happy. I love the sim design of him, and obviously it's been so fun watching Kyle bring him to life. It's just altogether perfect package. The big things that happen in the series are usually planned years and years ahead of time, but there are some things that happen episode by episode. For example, Noah's therapist being who she is was not something I had planned for a long time, but once I started writing her character and writing Noah's therapy arc, it felt like a direction I can very regrettably take. So yeah, sometimes it's something that I plan, sometimes it's just something I come up with on a whim and go from there. And I definitely do draw a lot of attention from the way the voice actors read their lines. For example, a lot of Jonah's wittiness comes from Alex himself. Sometimes when I'm questioning if there's room for a quick or joke or some comic relief, I picture Alex delivering that line and really take it from there. Will there ever be a character with glasses? No, Brie. I'm joking. There will be a character with glasses. There will be many characters, actually. Please stay tuned for season 3 casting call, which is so exciting and so soon. I've been struggling a lot with having motivation to film and write recently, but having the consistent support over the last few years has done wonders. Today, I'm not only motivated to finish the story for myself, but also for everybody who's interested and invested in seeing where these characters and plots are going next, and that makes all the difference. I think if money isn't an option, I would love it to be live action. And I wouldn't want to confine it to a streaming service. Definitely, I prefer like the weekly uploads, waiting like just 1 year between seasons instead of 6 years like with streaming services. And I think a network like HBO would be perfect for the Rivers, especially when it features a lot of the shows people sometimes draw comparison to, like Succession or Big Little Lies. For the cast, I've done a bunch of imaginings of what the real-life cast of the Rivers would look like, and I'll share some of those pictures here. Yeah, I've thought about this a lot, but of course, who knows? As for the final question, absolutely. For one thing, I'm going to be working on the Rivers for many years to come. We still have a whole season, and it's taken me 8 years to not even finish the first 2 seasons, so I'm sure we have a lot more years ahead, but I don't mind because I don't think I'll ever stop wanting to create Sims Machinima or write, so I like that arrangement. But as for side projects or projects after the Rivers or existing concurrently with the Rivers, I definitely have a lot of ideas, but I want to be able to commit. So if I do end up creating a future project, it is going to be a mini project, 1 season, no more than 10 episodes, and not too large of an ensemble, something, with 1 main character or 2 main characters tops, versus, the Rivers, which had 4 main characters and a lot of major characters, or the Foundlings, which had even more main characters and even more major characters. Any future project, side project, is going to be a quick, short one, cute one, and, well, not cute as in a cute topic, but a cute, even traumatic one, And it won't be until I have at least season 2 complete of the Rivers. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for submitting your questions. And I'm so excited about the SMAC convention and all the Machinima that is featured and that is yet to be featured in our amazing, beautiful, fantastic community. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you soon.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. On deck, Elizabeth Plant. Followed by Annie Batts takes us to Pleasant View.
Do some digging on Judith. I want her on board.
I don't think she'll agree.
A hungry person thinks with their stomach, little brother.
I think Audrey's my daughter.
If you are her father, then who's her mother?
Bella Goth.
Hello, mother. The C4 we were going to plant at House of Goth is gone.
This is not over.
Hello, hi, 'tis I, Liz, Elizabeth, Plant, Celestial, whatever you want to call me. If you've seen a Machinima, I'm probably in it. I'm the British one. You get to see my very fancy laptop for all this, so... First question, have I received any training with voice acting? If I did, what training? Formal training? No, nothing like that. I did a bit of theatre in school, and then I studied theatre for my undergrad and master's degree, but not like acting school. I did like the theory and history of performance and how that affects like how we perform gender, sexuality, religion, stuff like that. And I specialised in writing for theatre, which I think has affected how I approach performance because I care deeply about dialogue and motivations and like understanding and unpacking the dramaturgy and the reason that scripts are written the way that they are, which I think sort of gives me a bit of an advantage to getting into a role. But no, never done any training. It's just practice, just over and over and over again. If I even listen to some of the stuff I did like 2-3 years ago, I cringed hard. Such a big fan, all in caps, correct. Your voice is phenomenal. Correct. Since you voiced for so many awesome characters, how do you get into each character? Is there a specific thing you do? I don't know. I think for things like Beatrix in Canopsia Effect, I think it helps that Brie had me help with the writing and the editing of the scripts. So a lot of it was dialogue that I could picture performing as I was writing it and putting it into things. And also she's a massive departure from me. The reason I give so many takes, like all the time, like Dana on the Rivers, I give like 12 takes per line and I'm like, F it, you choose, because there's so much that you can do with a script and a character, and I just really like diving into it and just f***ing around and finding out, because you know, you wrote things for a reason, I perform them for different reasons, and if they intersect, great. Again, with the training thing, I don't really know if I have a process. I think I'm just quite an emotional person, so I can quite strongly attune to emotions that are being presented and sort of know the ways that physically I experience those emotions. Like when I'm sad, I get really hunched over and like my whole body hurts, and so I sort of take on that physicality and like put strain on my voice, and like I don't worry about things cracking, for instance, because I really enjoy the way that the voice like bends under pressure and like when it feels different things. So yeah, my process is just feel. What have been the hardest Machinima series I've voiced so far? Beatrix in episode 20, because I was choking myself out.
Maybe then you'll finally suffer as much as I have.
Not suffering? You have no idea what suffering is.
I think that was also just difficult because I'd been with Beatrix for 7 years. It was really hard, like saying bye to her and oh no, being sad. Isla as well, I think, because she's so grounded in how I feel as a person. The episode that hasn't yet released for season 2, Dana has the recording and I'm just sobbing. I'm not acting, I'm so sad, and like everything I just feel so physically and it's just pouring out of me, and it's really hard to, I guess, extricate myself from the characters because I give so much of myself into the performances that I give, and that is why I love doing what I do. I love feeling and being. I love characters, and so there's never really been any that's hard from a performance standpoint, but like hard to let go of and have someone else, I suppose, have agency over their story, because I'm not writing it. I can't dictate it. How does it feel to be the voice of hot mummy villains? It feels right. Ooh, kiss, marry, kill, Beatrix, Thea, Isla. Isla's a ride or die, so that's a marry straight away. We're both Aries. Thea. Kill. And yeah, I'll have a smooch with Beatrix. Give me that red lippy baby. I voiced for Sims projects, but also in so many other things in media. How do I adapt my performance when working on different types of projects, like animation, video games, or commercials? I don't know if I do. I'll be perfectly honest. So much of what I take on, my performance style is very naturalistic. I try and be as true to real life and experiences as I possibly can, because I think that's what's really compelling in the art of using your voice. I don't particularly enjoy things like commercial or specific subsects of animation that are specifically like, I need to sound really happy all the time. I love this so much. I don't enjoy doing that. Like, have you ever wanted to buy a car at such and such a blah 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 blah? Shut the f up. I'm not doing it. I really put a lot of emphasis on like breath work and like understanding how people interact in ways that are realistic, and that I think sort of is a style that transcends a lot of different genres and mediums. I don't really adapt. I seek out projects specifically that I can mold around, but not adapt to, if that makes sense. Can I share any tips or advice for aspiring voice actors looking to join? Have fun. Don't feel pressured to be amazing right off the bat. This is something that I do all the time. I feel so much pressure to be perfect and like convincing myself that I'm the best bet for a gig and I'm definitely gonna book it, and then I do not, and I get mad about it. Refining performance and who you are and finding your voice isn't contingent on learning accents or impressions or this or that, or thinking that you have to be the master of everything. Understand your voice, pay attention to the ways that people talk to each other, the way that you talk to yourself sometimes when you're alone in a room, like sit in front of your reflection and just sort of talk to yourself. And that's a very raw thing. It's one of the things I do to maintain like mental wellness and like a relationship with myself and my body, is I'll just sit and stare at myself and I'll give myself like affirmations that get really deep and painful. But the way, like, the mode that my body takes on when I'm doing that, and the way that my voice just sort of drops away to nothing, that is the key to understanding yourself. And if you don't understand yourself and how your own voice works, how are you going to understand how a character's does? Do I have any memorable or funny behind the scenes moments? I ramble, I rant, I rave, I scream. I don't really have any like super standout moments, but I do think I'm f***ing hilarious when I'm making little jabs at other characters when I'm performing. Because again, acting is about having fun. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing how you react to that, how you react to these other characters. But Tressa Rivers, when I catch you. Are there any red flags in an audition that would turn me off from auditioning? Ooh. If there's absolutely no context or emotion direction given to any of the audition lines, and you just sort of have to figure out what they're reacting to. How am I supposed to give a performance if I have no idea what I'm meant to be emoting? Also, casting before the deadline, just don't do it. Don't be a twat. What would drive me to take on a role in The Sims given how busy I am voice acting? Yeah, this one's rough because it's the same with like Skyrim modding. They're both things that got me into voice acting and I care about them very deeply, so they are sort of like passion projects for me. But I think it would have to be a really compelling story. Like, I can't be dealing with any more high schools for things that I have voiced. I've either been a teacher or like the best friend or a mother of some sort. And I think this is an issue that permeates throughout the voice acting industry, which is that lead roles will almost always go to someone with an American accent. And I can like vaguely do one. I don't enjoy doing it because I don't think this sounds like me. And I don't like doing it for long periods of time. I just don't think it's sustainable. But that has been me. Thank you so much for everything, for all of the opportunities that you amazing directors and writers and fellow cast members have given me over the years. I'm sure I'll continue doing it, but I'm really proud of where I've got to, and I owe a lot of that to you. Thank you. Why am I gonna cry? Ah! This has been me. Please go give someone else some love now too. They deserve it.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. Up next, a panel with Annie Bats. Continued by a conversation with Mystic Waters.
Had that feeling in my chest, the one they always talk about. You were swimming in your dress, collar covering your mouth. Cotton sticking to your skin, we were sitting in the clear. Turned your back into the wind, cupped a hand up to my ear, and say you could learn to need me if we take it real slow. You don't have to keep me if I give you hello. We will never be like anybody else. There's a mirror in the bedroom where we laid upon the floor. Sunlight swirl in the air, crying till we can't no more. And if it's all for nothing, might as well be moving on. Tell me I'm the one that's still worth fighting for, 'cause I could find a new girl who looks right in photos, never shows how she feels, losing you in slow-mo. We will never be like anybody else. Babe, I want you so bad, I don't wanna play nice. Laugh until the sun goes, love until the daylight. We will never be like anybody else. And if it's all for nothing, might as well be moving on. Tell me I'm the one that's still worth fighting for. Sleeping through the blackout, pissing on our feelings. Fuck it, I'm alone now, till I stop believing. We will never be like anybody else. See you in a white dress, catch your father pacing, with a hand on my chest. It would be amazing, but we will never be like everybody else. We will never be like anybody else. We will never be like anybody else.
Hello, I'm Annie Bats, and I have a YouTube channel dedicated to The Sims 2. It started out as a Let's Play channel, but I have since then branched out into speed building, tutorials, and other kinds of videos, including Machinimas. My first attempt at one was back in 2021, when I created a 4-part short story about Lilith Pleasant called The Vicious. Since then, I've been creating little cutscenes from my Pleasant You Let's Play series, adding them in when something particularly important is happening. And I'm currently working on the Season 2 finale that's gonna be a full-length Machinima in 3 parts. Some of you left me questions, and I wanted to say thank you so much for that. I've been really looking forward to answering them, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. First question is, how did you learn to do Machinimas? And, well, through pure stubbornness, I would say. Back when I decided to make that short story as a sort of Christmas special for my channel, I knew nothing about Machinima at all, and I had to take a crash course because I had decided that I'm gonna make a Machinima for Christmas. That's just happening. Funny thing is that my inspiration for that was that we have this thing in Sweden. I don't know if this is a thing in other countries or not, but it's called a Christmas calendar. It's a story that plays out in short episodes day by day up until Christmas. And that was my idea, that I was going to create a Machinima series and release 1 episode per day. Turned out that it took a lot of time and effort, and in the end I released the final episode of that 4-part series in like the end of January. Learning to do it was pretty difficult, to be honest. There's not a lot of resources out there for how to make Machinima, and I think that that is mostly to do with the fact that everybody's experience with Machinima is so different. Every single person that I've been talking to that creates Machinima has told me a completely different story about how they do it, what their process is, and everyone's results always look so different as well. So it's mostly been trial and error, honestly, and also utilizing my knowledge of the game itself. I've also been fortunate enough to receive a lot of help and support. One person in particular has helped me out a lot, and that is Big Mouth. Big Mouth has been a great mentor to me, answering all of my strange questions, guiding me, and I couldn't be more grateful. Did you have a rigid structure of the series plot from the beginning? Or did you start with a general idea for each family or sim and let the game influence how things happened through wants and fears? I can't say that I've ever had a rigid structure, but I've certainly had plot points going on even from the first Let's Play video that I released. The storytelling has been really heavy from the get-go, and that's only increased with the Machinima scenes. Back when I first started out the series, I didn't plan a lot. I had it all in my head, and I told the story sort of as it was happening in front of me. I sometimes think of myself as a game master in a role-playing game with my Sims as the players, and my role has sort of become to describe what is going on around them, and they're gonna have to show me how they're gonna react to it. Sometimes I decide that for them, of course, but often it just happens organically. What is your creative process when you align the episodes with the rotations of the neighborhood? Do you decide what needs to happen in the season and then program the episodes and play order accordingly? Or do you plan the episodes and events around an established play order? And do you have a script written out for episodes? Yes, I do have a script written out. You could say I use a PowerPoint presentation to sort of plan out what each episode is going to contain. I've had Season 2 mapped out like that for a while now, and things have changed around a bit as I've been creating the episodes, of course. But it's been a great way to visualize what I'm gonna do each episode and to go step by step, also making sure not to miss anything. Something that's been very important when it comes to the Machinima aspect is to not ever write anything in advance. Anything can happen when you play the game, after all. But I always plan out where I want to make the cut. So I work up until that point and then leave a little space where I don't really do much except sort of rearranging the Sims where I want them to have ended up once the cutscene is over, so I can pick up from there. I really enjoy how differently you use expressions for your characters. Hector feels very different from other teens you film, for example. Do you have a document with which animations a particular sim uses for their emotions, or do you play it by ear? Well, the short answer to that is no, I do play it by ear. The long answer is something strange happens when you sit down to film scenes in The Sims 2. You're gonna notice that your Sims start acting, and I mean really acting. It's funny that you mentioned Hector though, because he has turned out to be one of my absolute favorite Sims to film. I remember one scene in particular when I had him hiding away in a changing room out of embarrassment, and wow, I couldn't take my eyes off him, honestly. What is the animation/pose box or a hack that you have used most when filming Machinima? Do you have any favorite ones? And what are your favorite animations to use? And the best tips and tricks you have learned since starting to make Machinimas? Well, there's no competition really, is there? It's gotta be the core gals, talk hacks, medium priority, and start and stop functions. I use both this purple version and also the original brown one for situations when I need to have the Sims in a pose and they can't break it. But I really prefer using this because I love blending animations. As for the animations themselves, I have to physically stop myself from using taken aback, annoyed by. I have used that one so much and I have to stop myself. I have found that apologizee, calm down, is a good alternative for someone who needs to look a bit sassy when they say something. So I started to use that in combination now. One of the issues with this is that it's difficult to blend anything that's an argument because the Sims sort of go a bit crazy with those animations. So I've used ha, eek, don't accuse me a lot instead of one of the argumentative ones. In general, I like using those that are fairly long and in combinations with a lot of other ones that are also quite lengthy, because the thing is that when they are different length, when the Sims loop around the talk hacks over and over again, they're going to combine a bit differently each time. So that's going to give you a lot of different options to match with the actual lines that they speak and find the perfect moment, really. For that reason, I use Would You Like to Go Out a lot as well. And also, of course, everyone's favorite, Make Point, Reject, Don't Know. As for the best tips and tricks, never forget to freeze the time. The all menus cheat is your best friend. Sims are gonna constantly ruin your shots by making idle animations. You're just gonna have to roll with it. Sometimes you can even use it if you're lucky. Always have one Sim on hand that is not gonna be part of the scene at all, that you can just use for not having anything in their queue. Be careful about what you have in the background in the scenes, and above all, trust the process. Even if things look very strange and bad when you first start to film, when it's all edited and done and you have the music and the sound and the lines and everything in place, it's going to be a completely different story, so don't give up. Would you consider doing a behind the scenes or tutorial type video? Yes, definitely. This is something that I've been thinking about and wanting to do for a long time, but I haven't figured out how to go about it yet. I've also not been confident enough to do it. Despite having filmed Machinima for several years now, I've felt like a beginner for the longest time. I've only just recently started to build up enough confidence, so I think maybe soon I'm gonna be able to release something like that. What do you believe the future holds for your series? And can you share if you are thinking about creating some standalone Machinima films or series like your Vicious miniseries? Well, as I've already touched on, I am currently working on a pretty big Machinima project, and that's the season finale of season 2, Pleasant View. It's going to be in 3 parts, and it's going to be a full feature length, so wish me luck, I guess. As for other films or miniseries, I would love to do that. There are so many potential characters to use for things like that, and backstories that I would like to explore. Now, one of my favorite things about having a Let's Play series that runs parallel with the Machinima project is that I have a huge cast of Sims that I can use at any time. I can literally go tag your it at any random Sim, and that Sim is the main character for the day. It's really fun to explore, and I'm sure I'm gonna do a lot of more projects in future. Unfortunately, that's all I have time for. I know that I received a lot more questions than this, and I am deeply grateful for each and every question that I did get. I'm gonna post another Q&A video on my channel after this, just so I can catch all those questions that weren't directly related to the Machinima part of my projects, and also any other questions that you might have. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!
Hang tight, more SMAC after this short break. Coming up, Mystic Waters. And after, Gabe Simmer's Director Panel.
Hello everyone, my name is Mystic Waters. I am a voice actor and I want to thank Sims Machinima and Animation Convention for letting me have another panel for the second year. I am so excited to come back and have another panel, and I'm just so excited for all the questions that were sent in. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer all of them, but I'm going to do my best for the ones that I did pick out. Y'all ready? Okay, let's go. So initially what drew me to the community, because I kept saying company, guys, I've did this 3 times. Anyway, I love Sims. Okay, I've been playing for forever. I went on YouTube. Actually, my husband went on YouTube. We're YouTubers. Like, we love being on YouTube, by the way. We find everything on YouTube. I was getting bored of the certain things that I were watching, and my husband knew, so he was like kind of like screening and scanning through everything, and he ended up finding a machinima, and I just fell in love. I had no clue there was a community. I had no clue people were voice acting, making machinimas, all that good stuff. And I said, you know what, we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna start with my iPhone, and I did, and I have upgraded from there. Of course, I have a beautiful mic in front of me, but that is how I started. And of course, me being now as a creator, I want to stick around as well because I have my own machinima. If you guys would like to check that out, go ahead and check that out. But I also voice acted in my machinima as well. So I always just want to keep it all together. Initially, I'm originally a writer. That's actually where I started. Like very young, I was writing poems, short stories, scripts already at a young age. So I don't know, it just kind of turned around and came back to me, and I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun, but I can keep going. Let's get to the next question. Okay, so I absolutely love these 2 questions. So I prefer, I prefer all of them. Now, I know it's not fair I didn't choose one, but really I like a good mixture. Now, I have fun with being a bad character, okay? I love that. But morally gray, you never know what you're going to get. And I love that. It's like, I love the mysterious role where it's like initially that person's good, and then all of a sudden it's like they're the villain. It's like, what in the world happened? I love that. I really would like in the future to, I want to voice act royalty. Okay. If anybody is having a machinima where it's about royalty, please hit me up. I really want to do that character. I don't care if they're bad, good, or morally gray. Just hit me up, please. Let's talk. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. My new series is freaking amazing. I love being a machinima director. It's so much fun. The least thing that I don't like though is recording. The reason why is because there'll be random sims coming in your shots and all. You guys know, okay? All directors out there, you know, hair pulling, all type of stuff. I'm like, seriously, I had the greatest shot ever, and then some random sim comes in. I'm like, really? But anyway, I love it all. I really, really enjoy it. If you guys have not checked out Dancing Echoes of the Past on my page, please go check it out. It's really, really good. My first project. It's my first baby, and I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. Now, Haley was very, very fun to play. When I found out, because obviously I found out before everybody else, when I found out, newsflash, this is going to be a spoiler if you have not watched Return of the Reaper. And if you haven't, what are you doing? Anyway, the finale was so much fun. Like literally, I watched I'm a horror baby, so I watched a lot of movies back in the day. I still watch horror movies now, and I always thought, what would it feel like if I put myself in these type of mindsets? Like, I just want to kind of, I've always been like a little actor person in my head, you know what I mean? I'm a theater baby, so I'm over dramatic. Anyway, it was easy to actually do Haley because it's like I've already been practicing to do that as a child. So to get in that mindset was super easy. I really had to focus too. Like I had to lock myself in a room with no distraction and really get into those emotions. It wasn't hard. It wasn't like super easy, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm so glad you guys all enjoyed it too. Shout out to OMGSIMS. Like seriously. Haley's awesome. Yes, Dita Latour is one of my favorite characters, by the way. Shout out to La Bella Mafia. Okay, you guys, please go check that out. Love the character. Thank you so much. So reading the scripts for the first time for Haley and for Audrey. For Audrey, it was the same, kind of like the same mindset, really, except for Haley's finale was completely different. But it was kind of the same mindset. But with Audrey, she was working off a lot of pain and anger, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of boiled to that, you know what I mean? So I had to get a lot of anger and anguish and just think about things that happened to me like in my past that were bad or whatever, you know what I mean? Just kind of working off of that. So I just got myself ready to be them, and it wasn't too hard, you know what I mean? Like I said with Haley, just lock myself in a room and just kind of conjure up these emotions and feelings, and it came out, and I'm so glad you guys really enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys so much. Hi, thank you so much for the question. Yes, I do. Sometimes I'll get burnt out, but I also have other things to keep me busy. So I don't do just voice acting. Of course, you know, already my series. So I write, I record, listen to music, just take breaks from my computer too. I can't be on the computer all day long, honey. Okay. No, I'll get headaches. I will throw my computer. I'll get upset. I have to step away. So yes, of course I get burnt out. You know, I'm a human. We all do. But voice acting is really, really so much fun for me. I don't get burnt out a lot. I enjoy it. Playing different characters is so much fun. Okay. All right, we are on our last question. Thank you so much. So creating distinct voices for different characters is very important to know the background of my character. Then I can kind of conjure up what I want to do, especially if they're British or African or, you know, something of that nature, Southern. I can do those type of accents. So that really helps out too. The age, the what they're going through in their mindset, if they're angry, if they're happy, those things actually help me conjure up that character. So any type of background I can get on the character, I can make distinct voices for them. Like I can sound like a little girl. I can sound like a little teenager, young adult, older adult. A lot of people tend to put me as a mom, which I'm fine with. Okay, I can do mom because I have a mom voice. But, you know, I like to do younger ones as well, too, because that gives me a good exercise, practice and stuff like that. But because I have a strong voice, I like those type of roles, too, where I'm just like a warrior or, you know, things of that nature, or I'm like flirty. I like those things. But anyway, guys, not to take up too much time, I thank you guys so much for stopping by, listening to me blabber away. Please, if you guys have any questions, if you would like to work with me, anything of that nature, please reach out to me. It's Mystic Waters. It's a Z at the end, not an S20. Okay. You can find me on YouTube. You can hit up my Twitter, all that good stuff. Just reach out if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much. I truly enjoyed it. Bye-bye.
Don't move. SMAC will be right back after the break. Up next, Gabe Simmer talks Showtime. And after, the cast with Queen Nightlife series.
Alright, I'm done for today. Hey, you want to head to that new pizza place that just opened up?
No thanks. I think I'll stay here for a bit longer.
What? Come on. I heard they have stuffed crust.
Oh, hell yeah!
I'm good, guys. We can go next time.
Fine. You're lost then.
Hey, actually I don't have any money. Do you think you could spot me?
Seriously? Again? Get a job!
I'm sorry.
Hey.
I told you guys I didn't want... Hey.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Gabe Simmer and welcome to SMAC, Sims, Machinimas, and Animation Convention. So, seems like I got a couple of questions I have to answer from my Showtime show that's on my channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. But anyways, let me just see what these questions are and answer them. Let's get started. First question. What's the biggest inspiration behind Showtime? Tell us about how it all began. Well, it began when Simmerboy was creating Ward University, and I had two Sims I wanted to, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm having a brain fart. I had two Sims in mind I wanted to be in her show. One was Derek, we all know and love, and one who was Jax Lavender. They both had a whole storyline going on. I might put that in my, I might put that in my story, but who knows. But other than that, though, at the time, only one of them got in, and it was Derek, the bad boy we all know and love. Yes, we love Derek. But anyways, he was actually the first hot sim I actually made. I'm like, whoop. But anyways, other than that, though, my inspiration was definitely from Ward University, because, again, the show is amazing. Simmerboy's writing is something else, and since Derek got his own little storyline in that show, I wanted Jax to have his own little storyline as well. Especially since at the time, Jax did not look like what he looked as we know him now. So, let's just say that whole revamp definitely gave me inspiration to just be like, you know what, I'm going to tell his story too. So, that's definitely why. Okay, second question. How did you come up with the story of Showtime? Well, like I said before, the story was inspired by Ward University by Simmer Boy. Let's give credit how it is. And while also Jack's outfit, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. The outfit was so dope. Come on, let's give him some. I'm gonna be real, again. But other than that, like I wanted to put my character's story. Like I wanted to tell my character's story while also going through the events of the Ward University universe. So I could say that it's supposed to be kind of like a connected universe thing going on. I mean, they all living in the same universe, and different events are going on, but like it's still happening. But other than that, though, I would say I definitely came up with the story was, again, it was Ward University, but again, like it was Jack's outfit. I'm gonna be real. But other than that, though, this is not like the first time I collabed with Simmer Boy before, so connecting universes is like kind of an easy thing for me. Question 3. Who's your favorite character or storyline to write about? My favorite character is definitely... I have a couple of favorite characters. I would say Jenny is a favorite character. Jax obviously is my favorite character. And the mysterious murderer is my favorite character. Because, like, let's just say the moment y'all realize who's the killer... I can't wait for y'all to realize who's the killer. I'm gonna be real. But anyways, other than that, though, yeah, they're my favorite characters because Jenny has the aesthetics and I love her voice, period. To both my actors, period. You guys got it. Jax, I would say he's like that obsession famous trait I have, so I just put it in him and just give him a different type of backstory. But the mysterious killer, he's... Oops, I said he's. Oops. Okay, next. Y'all didn't hear that. But, the person is very mysterious, unknown, even to me, because, like, I'm still writing the person, so that's all I gotta say. But anyways, other than that, though, right, my favorite storyline, however, is definitely Jax, because, like, again, at the end of this, it's gonna be a cotton candy explosion. That's all I gotta say. Question 4. What got you into Sims Machinimas? That's easy. Sims 2 videos. Question 5. What do you use to create your videos? This is gonna get me in trouble. But anyways, I use Flamora. Let me just say that. Flamora. I'ma stop there so I don't get arrested. Question 5. Do you have any tips for new incoming Machinima creators? I would say don't... Let me be real. I'm gonna say, don't get saddened if you don't have that many likes or comments or views. Because, again, this is a process, in my opinion. Plus, in my opinion, I would say for me, I wanted to entertain myself. Like, making stories was kind of like a therapeutic thing for me while playing The Sims and stuff. So, I would say the best entertainer should be you, in my opinion. But, other than that, though, don't compare yourself to other creators. Don't do it. It's it takes the fun out of things, and it's putting you, I think it puts some pressures and stuff. Question 7. What inspired you to combine the themes of fame-seeking and a serial killer in your story? I'm being so real with you. I did not want to be bored creating the story. Question 8. The presence of a serial killer adds an element of suspense and danger to the story. How do you balance these dark themes with the lighter elements of friendship and ambition? To be fair, I balanced these two with, I would say, I got the inspiration of Sucker Punch a little bit to balance the two, but also to not make it obvious, because the dark themes, if you watch episode 1, it's not exactly there all the way. But there is there. It will be coming. Everything is color-coded. So, I'm not even supposed to say that. Let me just say I organized the episodes to be the lighter themes are up front, and then when it comes in the middle of the series, it's going to get a little gray. You know, some darker themes are going to show themselves, and then at the end, it's going to be dark. Like, things are about to get dark. There's no light here. But I would say my biggest inspirations of it would be, like I said before, like a little sucker punch here and there, War University's little secrets here and there, and a couple of, like I said before, if y'all know Killing Stalking, y'all know what I'm talking about. Question 9. This series sounds so interesting and unique. Can you walk us through your creative process from the idea, conception to execution? I mean, yes, I can. A little bit, you know, because I'm gonna be real, I'm making this all up as I go. Anyways, other than that though, yeah, I can. So I would say the idea definitely did come from it was a personal desire, because again, I want to be famous as well. It's kind of like imputing my trait of becoming famous and just making it into a character, you know. But I was trying to build a story off of that as well, as much as I can, especially to fit the Ward University storylines, as well as to not mess anything up. Like, again, I always had to go back to the material to, like, make sure everything's correct and nothing's all out of place. And then, my series could coexist with her series that's going on right now. But, other than that, though, you know, I'm just I'll do a little shout out that, let me just say, I did one of my character, like, if she ever thinks of putting my character in her series, let me just say I'm all for it. Like, season 2, I'm all for it. But anyways, that's not the case here. But, let me just say this. The concept is supposed to be light to dark. I would say that. It's definitely a light to dark type of thing. There's going to be some episodes that might not make any sense to some people, and some people might get it. Like, there's going to be some symbolisms here and there, couple of mind tricks here and there, and it may be a little 18 plus when it gets to the dark, you know, the very dark areas. But other than that, though, the execution would be that, you know, there will be changes, and the main character will be coming out as a different person. I would say that. Definitely a build-up story. Question 10. How do you stay motivated and inspired during the creative process, especially when facing challenges or setbacks like writer's block? I would say the setbacks was definitely there. I canceled this series the moment I thought my actors were not active. That's on me, because again, I take so long writing these lines. Oh my goodness. It's like life literally likes to butt in so many times, or I'm just being lazy. But anyways, other than that, I stay motivated by, again, going back to the source of what inspired me in the first place. I'm talking maybe read a little mangas, Killing Stalking, probably watch Euphoria here and there, and going back to the source material, watching Ward University again, just to be like, you know, I want to see these stories blend in. Like, I know the outcome will be gorgeous. Oh, is that all the questions? Okay then. Well, I hope you guys enjoy my Showtime. Please don't forget to check it out. And Simmer Boy, if you're watching, like, you know, I'm just saying, like, shout out to my character for season 2. But other than that, though, like, yeah, let me go. Again, love you guys. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'll see you around.
Hold on, more SMAC to follow these messages. Coming up, Queen Nightlife series interviews her cast. And after, we're here with SHADOWGAMINGVA.
Let's give a warm welcome to Tori from Queen's Nightlife.
after your date in Solani with Royce. How are you feeling towards him now? Hello. That first date solidified everything I felt. He is charming and genuine. He insisted I get out of the club and have fun for once. We went to an amusement park in Willow Creek. Royce reserved it. Royce is a daredevil at the park. I had so much fun. Royce said we had a two-part date. I didn't know what that meant. After the park, we traveled to his yacht in Solani. I've never seen such a place so beautiful. I've never been outside of Newcrest. There was a waterfall and a volcano on the island. I have never seen anything more beautiful. I've never. He prepared a candlelight dinner which was amazing, and then we danced the night away. The highlight for me was being at the park. We bonded over the games. He is so competitive and funny. I've dated other men, but he is more serious about me. He took care in listening to me and making me feel confident. I want to leave the nightclub, but I don't know how. I haven't figured out what I want to do, but dancing was only supposed to be temporary. He reassured me he would help me. I will always be there for Queen in her club endeavors though.
Thank you, Tori.
Stay tuned and find out what happened with Royce and I. The story has progressed on Tumblr. YouTube will be updated.
Please welcome Queen. How has your life changed since the last time you attended SMAC? What were some big moments that we have missed?
I was assigned a public defender, Janessa. She has gotten my trial postponed until they figure out the situation with Mr. Snipes. The filmed episodes are not current with my life right now, but if you follow on Tumblr, you will find out what has gone on since last year. The episodes will catch up with Tumblr soon though.
What has been the most stressful part about your court case?
Being accused of a crime I didn't commit, surrendering a club I improved from my hard work, letting the other girls down because they aren't getting the pay they deserve. I've been at that bar turned nightclub since I was 16. I renovated it and provided jobs to other young ladies. I provided hope of a brighter tomorrow. I don't want to say too much, but I was forced to start over. I am confident I will be vindicated. The laws have blocked me from owning another club until I clear this case, but I have mouths to feed.
After Jermaine threatened you with detainment, what are you planning to do next?
I vowed to always look out for those girls. We are all we have. With the help of my lawyer, I am still able to work incognito.
What do you hope viewers will take away from the portrayal of your character and the broader themes explored in the story?
As women of color, we have the same struggles as everyone else. We work hard to take care of our families, and we should not be discriminated against based on our employment choice. There are ladies who are dancers, nurses, and hairstylists. They have all faced challenge of some kind. I'd say women have it hard, considering they come second to men. We have to work twice as hard to be taken serious as bosses, even harder as a colored woman.
How did you prepare for your character's unique traits and motivations, especially considering the complex dynamics at play in the story?
The characters, motivations, and traits develop as different events occur. It is all improvised, nothing is planned. Whatever feels natural is what is added into the story. If it feels forced, it isn't added.
What challenges did you face in portraying the emotions and conflicts? Your character experiences throughout the storyline?
The biggest challenge was showing the nightclub life gracefully and highlighting the conflicts. You get to see individual struggles and life goals without the explicit activities. It also shows that dancers are people worthy of respect.
Can you share any memorable or impactful scenes you filmed that were particularly challenging or rewarding to portray?
The domestic scene between Justice and Julius. I didn't want it to be too graphic or triggering.
Thank you, Queen.
Thanks for the support.
Welcome, Tommy. Just want to say a big congrats to ND and Tommy regarding your wedding and pregnancy. Tommy, after a year of trying, I bet you're so excited. What are you looking forward to most about motherhood?
Thank you so much. Even though we were trying for a year, it came as a huge shock when I finally got the positive test. I travel every other week for work as a celebrity stylist. When I got sick, I thought it was something I ate. Due to our busy schedule, we decided to get married early. I hired a wedding planner. We found the venue, did cake testing, and we tied the knot in an intimate setting with a handful of friends. We managed to get the wedding planned the same week I found out about the pregnancy because when I saw the doctor, they told us, "We are having twins. I don't know what kind of time we will have after their birth, and I didn't want to delay the wedding for years." We hope to secure a home before their birth in 6 weeks. That has been most challenging since I am still traveling for work. I look to raise strong, hardworking individuals. Their father and I work non-stop. We have very little time for leisure activities, but we have goals and now children to provide for. I just recently opened a second salon and I have an amazing team. I will say I am scared and excited for the challenge, and everything will be documented, so stay tuned. Thanks for having us. Thank you to the cast of Nightlife series. Check out their YouTube.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. Coming up, an interview with SHADOWGAMINGVA. Continued by Haitian Simmer.
Hey Shadow, it's glad to have you again in this year's SMAC. How's it going?
Hi, thank you so much for having me again. It's been going really good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm like super stoked that I get to interview you again.
Yeah, it was super fun last year.
Okay, so as you know, some of your fans submitted some questions today that I'm going to ask. Are you ready?
Yes, I am very much ready.
Okay, so the first question is, what initially sparked your interest in pursuing a career as a voice actor?
Honestly, when I was getting ready to this makes more sense. When I was younger, I watched a lot of Minecraft roleplays. So with those, I kind of fell in love with voice acting, and I messaged a YouTuber and was like, "Hey, like, how do you get into voice acting? I'm afraid to." And they kind of explained everything to me and was just like, "Here, this is how, you get ready. This is how you do it." And they explained it to me, and I was able to just like start from there. And after that, I was just able to kind of go into casting call and audition for stuff, and it kind of like Minecraft roleplays and animes and like cartoons when I was a kid kind of got me into that stuff.
And then that's kind of like led you into our little Sims Machinima community.
Yeah, yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Is there a character type you never got to play or didn't get to play enough, in your opinion? Would you like that chance, or do you prefer sticking to the kind of roles you're getting now?
I feel like for the most part, I've had a good assortment of different types of characters, but I play a lot of good type character, hero, like / hero-ish characters.
Yeah.
But I think a main thing that I like to do is villain characters or like asshole characters. I like playing an asshole. So
I'm just thinking, there's people that play assholes and they're like, I just want to be a nice person. And like, I'm playing nice. I just want to be an asshole.
I just want to be an asshole. And it's like, I think the only character for the most part I've been able to really be an asshole with is Elena. And I guess Elena's like, like a good person, but with Dark Elena, I get to really push the buttons of being an asshole. So like that, I wish, I kind of want to play an asshole a bit more.
You're like a dark, complex, I don't know. I don't want to get spoilers. I don't know. I'm assuming she's like demon. Well, I guess, right? She's like a demon or whatever. So that's she's all very different than normal Elena, which is it's a lot funny to play like normal Elena in a scene and then like dark Elena. So it's very different. And I do personally like to play some asshole characters, not like good characters that are like pieces of crap, but like an asshole type character where they're like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Like that's just like kind of like asshole vibe. Oh my god, that would be a fun character to play.
Yeah.
Okay. Has there been any roles recently that you feel has challenged you or pushed you in ways you didn't think it would?
I would probably say Cleo, honestly. For spoiler alerts for people who haven't seen like the last few episodes of Ward, she gets kidnapped, and I never kind of played this character that was terrified, but like got kidnapped, terrified in like this type of like Sims Machinima stuff. So it's kind of like the fact that I was able to kind of push the boundaries of being like, okay, how much can I scream? Like, and I just gave Miriam like a bunch of screams. I was like, use this where you feel fit. So it was a lot of like a push on the boundaries of trying to do Cleo, who's a normally like shy, kept to herself character that was now just got kidnapped by her boyfriend's father.
Yeah. That's crazy.
She now has to kind of she kind of now has to maneuver like the situation, try and survive, and she also kind of broke out of that shyness by attacking him in the end and calling him a bitch.
Because I mean, you did really good in that scene, by the way, like really good.
Thank you. I did the whole bitch part, and I was like, I feel like she would say this, and Miriam was like, yes.
Yeah, that worked perfect. Like, did you feel like you had to prepare yourself for that role, because she's kind of vulnerable in that scene?
Yeah, it was kind of weird to get into that type of mind frame, because when you're voice acting, you kind of have to become that character sometimes, because it's solely based on your voice. A lot of like with acting in real life, you're seeing the person portray the character, but with voice acting, it's all about the voice. So you have to really like emphasize your emotions and how that character is. So it's kind of like really being vulnerable in like that type of situation. You're like,
okay, I have to kind of get to this level because of you know, like I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to make it be like, oh, this is a funny haha, but she got kidnapped. But it's also like, you know, like I actually like need to like try and purvey that like she got kidnapped. Like this is like a serious situation. So it's kind of like, yeah, like to get into that mind frame is very like hard at first, but then once you get into it, you're like, oh wow, this is a weird mind frame.
How far are you looking to take your VA talents? Are you looking to go pro?
I mean, if I could, I absolutely would. Like I would love to do animation, to like cartoons, anime, like all that type of stuff. If I could get into that, I totally would. I feel like I don't know if I'll ever get to that part. It's a definite dream too. Yeah. I have hopes to get to that sooner, like soon, you know, hopefully. Like I'm kind of like going into the inner works of that, so I'm kind of like trying to figure out how to do that. So hopefully one day I can be in like, you know, like our cartoon animation, you know, maybe eventually break into like real life acting if like I'm, you know, good enough in like real life acting. You know, voice acting, okay, that's fine, I'll say just a voice actor. But if I can happen to like branch out into that, I'd be totally fine with that as well.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like, just out of curiosity, like, how many different voices or voice tones can you do?
It's gonna sound like I'm really like flexing. I think I can do probably like from different voices and tones and ranges, probably in the 40 mark.
Damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, like my demo reel, which is from 2021. This is on my Twitter. It has like I think maybe 20 to at least 20 to 30 voices on there. And then that was from 2021. And then for the past like 3 years, I've been finding out new voices that I can do and kind of like that. So it's kind of like been adding onto that kind of thing.
I can just do 2.
I talk to myself a lot.
But I'm not as good. Like I just do it. I mean, you're like a professional. You sound really good. I just don't have that range in my voice, but like, I mean, 40 is, I mean, I'm just, wow, that's amazing.
People are gonna listen to that and be like, no, bull. She's lying.
I know.
I'd be like, I promise. I talk to myself a lot. I have a lot of voices.
You're like, there's so many voices in my head, and then they're just coming out.
they're just what's in your head, Shadow? A lot of voices. You do not want to know what's going on up there. It's a lot of stuff. A lot.
So the next question would be, what do you find most rewarding about working as a voice actor in the Sims Machinima community?
I think honestly the reaction that I get from playing certain characters, watching like the live stream of when like Dark Elena came into play, it's like seeing all those people in the chat being like, oh my god, like that's insane. Or like when Cleo got kidnapped and, you know, seeing people actually cry because of like this entire thing. I was like, oh my god, like I didn't think I could actually like pull off the acting for it, but seeing people like have such like an emotional response to it is like, wow, like I actually made people cry. Like that's not a good thing, but like it's kind of cool. If that makes sense. Like it's not good that you're crying for me, but like it means I'm doing something right.
Yeah,
so I mean, like
exactly,
I'll take it.
You're like, I'm sorry I made you cry, but it makes me feel good too.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you're crying right now, but it makes me feel like really good about like my skills. So I'm like, if you want to keep crying, that's totally okay.
No, but I mean that just shows how talented you are. Like if you can get the audience to believe like what you're like, to believe the emotion coming from the character, like I mean, you're doing your job. Your appearance as Merle in For Him was brief but chilling. Did you enjoy voice acting in a horror machinima? Would you consider doing more?
Oh my gosh, yes. That was absolutely incredible. I love Dale, and Dale reached out to me and was like, hey, can you play this character? And I was like, absolutely. And then seeing it like from, because like a horror thing, yeah, like seeing a horror thing just like on script is like one thing, but then like actually watching it, you're like, oh my gosh. Like there's a lot of also aspects that in like the script that you don't fully like think in your head, and then like you see it on the screen, you're like, oh my gosh. Like I would love to do more like horror mystery type machinimas. Like just I feel like the like horror ones are just Like I don't know if there's like a whole lot. I mean, I'm sure there are, but like I not that I've ever like done. So it's kind of like if I can branch out into doing to like that type of thing, I totally would.
Yeah, and they look like a lot of fun, and I saw for him very talented. Dale was very talented, and you did amazing. Great.
Thank you. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. I love it.
It was so good. Okay, next question. This one I'm curious about this one. You're always screaming and giving 110% in your yelling scenes. What is your mic or house setup that you're able to pull this off? So,
okay.
Well, like, do you have roommates? Like, do you live alone? Like, how do you do that?
So this is kind of how it goes. So like for the most part, I'm home alone in the middle of the day, like in the morning. So I live at my parents' house with my brother, my mom, my dad, and in the morning they're all at work, you know, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday I have my mom at home, but they're all pretty much used to it by now. Like at the beginning, I'd be like, I could only do it when I was home alone. And I'd be like waiting till like they were home alone, or until I was home alone, or like they'd go out to the store to do it. But now I kind of just I walk out of my room. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start screaming. I'm fine, and I close the door and I just start screaming. But for the most part, my setup is I have a Shure MV7 with a Focusrite voice volume meter thing. I don't know the technical terms, but I like at first I didn't really know how to do screaming lines without peaking. And then I was like, oh wait, I can turn down my volume on my Focusrite and then scream really loud, and then just put up the volume with amplification, and then it'll sound really good. So now I'm able to figure out. Yeah, so now I'm able to figure out how to do screaming. Well, and now you are too. Now you can scream.
Now we all can scream.
Exactly.
Okay, so this question is going to be interesting. So, in a Hunger Games of the characters that you voice, who would win?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like I have I feel like Elena in full so because of her powers.
True.
Like I feel like if we're going off like base of like power, I'm like, okay, Elena. Okay, Elena's definitely gonna win. I feel like Ember would probably I feel like Ember might die first.
You think so? No, she's been kind of getting a little bit tough, like later on in the episodes, a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm trying to think, but like versus Cleo. Cleo's getting very whatchamacallit, like she's getting very stern. Like
exactly.
she's broken out of she's broken out of that shy thing. Like she's ready to smack someone. Like she's done. She's had enough. So I'm like I feel like at least Elena, I feel like she would win out of any of the other characters just because of how powerful she is.
I know, she's scary. Like I feel like with just the snap of her fingers we're all dead or something. Like I'm just curious what she's what's gonna I mean, you probably already know, but I'm just curious how powerful is she, you know? I don't know, she's scary me sometimes.
She's I feel like especially with Dark Elena, if it was normal Elena, I don't know. I'm maybe I could see maybe her and Cleo going at it. Just going at it, but other than that, I'm she boom, Dark Elena, it's over. It's over. All my other characters are gone. That's it.
Elena's just gonna be pow, gone. You guys dead.
Exactly. Boom, you're gone.
But wait, didn't she kill somebody in one of the episodes? Yeah, she did, right?
She's already on the board. She's already won this. Everybody go. If you see Elena come up with the Hunger Games, run. You're done. Just go.
Everybody just needs to hide. Okay.
Everybody just needs to go.
So the last and final question, which everybody loves to ask. So it's kiss, marry, or kill. So it'll be between Elena, Chloe, and Ember.
Oh gosh. I feel like I feel like this is gonna be very obvious. So my answer, I would kiss Ember, I'd marry Cleo, and then I would kill Elena, just because I have a lot more. It's been a lot longer playing Cleo and Ember. As much as I love Elena, it's been a lot longer playing those two, and I have a lot more of a stronger time frame and connection with those two characters.
Yeah.
If I could save Elena, I would. But yeah, for the most part, I'd kiss Ember and then I'd marry Cleo.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, plus Elena's kind of scary, you know, because now she's not nice. Like, you don't know if you're gonna wake up the next day
she's
or
not
not.
nice.
So might as well get to her before anything. Sorry, Tashi.
Exactly. Sorry, Tashi. Yeah, like Cleo's my little baby. You know, I love Ember, and then like Elena would probably murder me in my sleep. Like she just like switched.
Yeah, now that she's dark with the whole eyes and everything, man, she's very scary. Very scary.
She would for sure kill me. It's for safety. I have to kill her for my safety.
Well, those are all the questions I have. Thank you so much for being in this year's SMAC. It was so awesome to sit with you again this year.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to answer questions.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. Up next, Haitian Simmer. And finally, Violet Girl 64 interviews the cast of Bloom Girls.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Haitian Simmer, also known as HCDS, and today I would like to present to you guys the cast of Seventh Wheel, Rose's Revenge, the Hollywood movie that I'm currently working on, and also give you guys a little bit of background on the characters and their roles in the movie. Okay, so first we have Rosalind Whitehorn, aka Rose. She's the main character. We have Will McKinnon and Lila Douglas. They're the couple that she basically gets into it with in the story. We have Rashad O'Neal and Jordan Williamson. They are Will and Lila's best friends, and Jordan don't like Rosalind at all. And then we have Ashlyn Hill and Tristan Williamson. Tristan and Jordan are brothers and sisters. And Ashlyn and Tristan, they're just like going along for the ride.
What inspired you to write a Machinima horror movie?
Well, a little background about me. I love horror and suspense movies and shows. Now, I don't like to touch the demonic aspect of horror because that's a little bit too much for my soul to take. But a little scary never hurt nobody. So I decided to go and write one of my own. Also, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of James Patterson and Patricia Cornwell and Catherine Coulter and books that inspired me to dabble a little bit more into horror. And when I initially started writing, I wrote horrors and eroticas.
What can we look forward to for this project?
You can look forward to a little bit of action, some comedy, fighting scenes, a little bit of explicit content that I don't want to mention, you know, a lot of drama. This lady right here being very misunderstood. A little bit of everything that you would find in a horror movie. I don't want to give it all away, but yeah.
Do we get a release date for this movie soon?
Yes, most definitely, you guys do. It will be released on Halloween. Yay! No, I'm just kidding. But yes, it will be released on Halloween for everyone to view. Preferably Halloween night, midnight, from the 30th.
Will the movie be a voiceover or a subtitled project?
It'll be a little bit of both because I use AI voices for my voiceovers, and I'm limited to what voice access I do have. So, I don't want to keep reusing the same voices that I used in my series. So it'll be a little bit of both.
How did you get into creating Sims Machinimas?
Well, when I initially started, I actually started watching LPs. It took me about 5 years. I was so late to the game um, to see these, but I started watching LPs and I loved them so much. And then I ran across a Machinima by D Sims. I can't think of the name or find it for the life of me, but it was a beautiful scene, a beautiful setup. She had these kids on the play in the front yard. They were jumping rope. The water sprinklers were going. The birds were chirping, and the music was playing, and it just gave this great vibe. And it was just so beautiful to me that I was like, I want to do that. And then I ran into the lovely Lady Rias. I hope I'm saying your name right. I hope I'm not murdering your name. And her beautiful playlist of machinimas. And the first one of hers that I came across was Frozen Echoes. The detail and the story just captivated
What
me.
inspired you to create a horror themed storyline?
Well, I am a huge Bloomhouse fan. And I love Bloomhouse because they go from teens up until MA and they have awesome stories. So I was like, maybe I could be like Bloomhouse and write a great story. So that's what I was trying to do.
How do you use Sims from Machinima techniques to build tension and suspense in our horror series?
I used music, I used animations, different camera angles. Also, in the editing part, I used different effects and transitions.
How do you approach developing the personalities and backgrounds of each friend in your series?
So, when developing a story, I start with the storyline that I want to start with, and then I'll pick the character. And from there, the plot of the story determines the character, their friends, their personalities, who's involved, who's not involved. Um, yeah.
What challenges do you face when trying to create realistic and believable horror scenes within the limitations of The Sims 4?
First of all, I want to say shout out to all the animators. You guys are awesome. But the challenges that I do face is a lot of animations are hard to find, and animating is hard. I tried it. Also, editing, it's just very time consuming and to get everything in the right order.
What machinima inspired your series?
Actually, there wasn't a machinima that inspired my series. I haven't watched machinimas in a minute, but I did get inspired by movies. Like I said, I'm a huge Bloomhouse fan, and lately I've been watching a lot of Bloomhouse films. And I'm like, hey, I've been working on this Hollywood movie for about a little over a year now. So I thought, hey, it's perfect to, finish up the movie and get into my creativity. So Bloomhouse has been it.
I wish I knew in the beginning that popularity would be the death of me. New to the city, I thought I would find friends, real friends. But I guess I didn't. I found the worst. Who knew moving to this high school would be the worst experience of my life? My name is Rosalind Whitehorn, and this is my story.
Now I just moved to Copperdale, so everything is new to me. But who knew people could be this rude? These people teased me, beat me, and played me for a fool. In the end, left me for dead. Oh, I'm coming for these motherfuckers.
So I wanted to thank you guys for all the questions, and don't forget to tune in Halloween, October 31st at midnight for the 7th Will Roses Revenge. Can't wait to see you guys there. Bye.
Hang tight, more SMAC after this short break. We end today too with an interview by Violet Girl 64.
I don't know about you guys, but I think our drama quota for the day has been more than filled. Am I right?
Make sure to put on your detective hats for day 3 as we dive into the mysteries, fantasies, and maybe a bit of history.
This is Dale and Luana signing off for day 2.
Bye everyone, and happy SMAC!